Reddy Poli. And sir, he is Professor J.U. Ahmed from Nehru, Northeastern Hill University.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Very good afternoon. How are you
Good
all
afternoon.
doing?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Very,
Nice meeting you. Unfortunately, here, so I
okay, good. Then we are.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. So,
So let me log out.
okay.
Responding
And thank you, everyone.
very good.
So, dear participants, now we are in our fourth session today, which is 20th in this program. And now we are having Professor Narayan Reddy Poli with us. He is, he is a senior professor having experience of more than 35 years. He has worked for many organizations like Goa University, School of Management Studies, CBIT, Osmania University, and National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management. He has authored more than 20 books and he has authored more than 50 research papers in different journals. He has completed 2 research projects and he has guided 20 research scholars and 7 MPhils. He is active member of many professional bodies. Now today he's going to talk on the topic how to operationalize Indian knowledge system into the classroom. While deciding the topic, he asked when I requested him, he gave me 4 or 5 topics. I chose something on knowledge system and he happily agreed for that. So, sir, now time is yours and you may share.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am trying to bring my
PPT, sir. Okay.
PPT for a while. I will restart freshly. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to share.
Share a screen and open that PPT and then share the screens.
Yeah. Yes. Now I think it's okay.
So not yet coming. Share the screen.
Is it visible?
No, not yet, sir. Share screen is not working, I think. Earlier, your email was visible, but now that also has gone.
Uh,
Yeah, it's coming, but not visible.
Now screen is visible.
No, not visible. Yeah, it is coming now, sir. Yes, just go for presentation mode, full screen, and that's all, sir.
Yeah, now it's okay, I think.
It's not in full screen.
Is it okay now?
Go to presentation, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, it's moving, but it's not full screen, sir. Uh, Sir, in slideshow on top menu, go to slideshow and begin. No, not under that, sir. That menu over that, sir. Yeah, yes. Fifth one, slideshow. Yeah, after that, sir. Yeah, this one, sir. Yeah, click on that, sir. And then first one under this sub menu. from beginning. Left side, sir. Left, extreme left, sir. Extreme left, sir. Same,
Now it's
same.
okay.
Uh, no, extreme left, sir. First one in this row. In the same one, sir. First. No, it is recording something. It is different things. So from beginning, first one is button is there, no? From beginning.
Yeah, this is the first one.
No, this first PPT, but that icon you have to click, sir. Full screen. Yeah, under slideshow only, sir. Under slideshow, a new menu will come. So extreme left, first one. Extreme left. Yeah, this one, sir. From beginning.
Is it okay?
Still, it is not coming full screen, sir. I think some internet issues.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's little smaller in fonts, or otherwise you can run on this also.
No, let's not. I will take the help of my people then.
Oh, okay. Or see, sir, F5, tab F5, if it is on your laptop.
Just for a while. It is incorrectly.
So, friends, he is about to join. Just wait for 1 more minute and we will be here.
ఈ నవతల వాళ్ళు కనపడలేదండి మీరు స్టార్ట్ Is it okay now?
It is, sir, visible, but it's not coming to PPT presentation mode. It's that side panel is also visible. Slide shorter view.
Yeah, is it okay now, Professor?
Sir, as of now, screen is not visible, sir. It's all dark.
Screen is
It may be.
resume slideshow ఉంది.
So you may start with this. Actually, it is not full screen, but yeah, it's moving. Yes, I think now it is coming. Yes, now fine, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for the few minutes.
It's okay, sir. Our participants also got some time between two sessions now.
Okay. Now it's okay. So, a very good afternoon. I am extremely happy to be part of this exercise of conducting refresher course by the Department of Commerce, Mizoram University. The Northeast is very, very close to my heart. Almost since 35 years onwards, I have been visiting Manipur University, whatnot, many universities, and being a member of Association of Indian Management Schools as a regional vice president from South. I have been associating with a number of universities and departments in Northeast states. At the outset, I am thankful to Professor Bhartendu Singh, coordinator of the interdisciplinary refresher course on economics, commerce, and business management. And I thought of discussing on a few points and few topics, but I am suggested by the coordinator better to talk about operationalization of Indian knowledge system into the classroom. We have been talking in the recent past about the Indian knowledge system. The UGC came out with a defined set of regulations related to Indian knowledge system. And the new education policy, which has come almost after 34 years or so, and a comprehensive document has presented with enough flexibility, with the minimum controls on the institutions and the education system. I am sure that now UGC and AICT and other regulators have become institutional friendly, and enough autonomy has been given to the institutions to have enough autonomy and do whatever and so in view of this, an expert in the knowledge system, no one can claim that they are experts in Indian knowledge system, because we don't know when and how the Indian knowledge system started flourishing, and even the history may not sufficient to identify the starting point of Indian knowledge system. Since ages it has been there, maybe 5,000 years back or even more than that. Slowly but steadily the Indian knowledge system emerged, and that has become a treasure house for the entire world to take advantage of it and try to learn from it and apply the same to the contemporary issues of the world. And we have been talking that, of course, many people will define what exactly the Indian knowledge system. And all said and done, it is essential for all of us to think the Indian knowledge system and the UGC in its very frequently releasing number of orders and circulars encouraging the institutions in the country to move forward slowly but steadily, integrating the Indian knowledge system. Yes, definitely it is a very good move by the government of India through National Education Policy, and its implementing agency is UGC with the help of AICT to some extent. They are moving forward to implement the same. But all said and done, when we think about the Indian knowledge system, we have some type of look down attitude for most of the teaching faculty and students, and to some extent the stakeholders. The reason is not that we don't have interest in it. We have interest, and we know to some extent what it is and how it is going to help the society present and future, is no doubt. But how to operationalize the same is the issue. The reason is this. Hope this screen is available. The moment you say the Indian knowledge system, we very frequently think and start recollecting that it is in the form of Mahabharata, Gita, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, or various types of Vedas, Vedangas, etc., or rather Puranas, isn't it? So, different types of words, different types of concepts come to our mind when we think about Indian knowledge system. And Mahabharata is in the form of 1,700,000 slokas. Gita is in 700 slokas. Ramayana is in the form of 24,000 slokas. Bhagavatam is with 12,000 slokas. Upanishads so far 108 Upanishads have been identified, and again each Upanishad is the life of a great sage, experienced by one sage or group of sages, and the essence of the life of a sage or group of sages have brought into the form of one Upanishad. So far, we could trace 108, and there might be many more Upanishads. We don't know so far. So, when we think of all this literature, then it is a mind-boggling issue that how to teach these things in the classroom. So, therefore, the moment I am asked to address the faculty and also the stakeholders 2 months back in Bhubaneswar, Orissa, the same issue I raised. So therefore, the moment we think about so much of literature, how to teach the same in a capsuled mode, where again I refer to say that in any postgraduate program, there may be 4 semesters. In each semester, we have 7 subjects, and in each subject, there will be 5 to 6 units, and the entire subject will be covered in 5 to 7 units, where a student is supposed to write examination for 5 to 7 questions and get some grade. In that particular mode, it will be very, very impossible for the stakeholders, the teachers, and the students to read and understand what it is, because it is very, very difficult for the people to narrow down the scope of the Indian knowledge system. Therefore, I thought of explaining that what exactly we have to take from the Indian knowledge system and put it in the syllabus form or content form, and how to interpret the same that connects the students and creates an interest among the learners. So therefore, with that background, I thought of discussing a little bit of some ideas, what it is and how it is going to be in the classroom. Now, having said that, first of all, why we have to study Indian knowledge system? This is a basic question, because how it is going to help in getting the job or placement is the basic question. So, if it is not going to be in that sense, the people may not show much interest. Because the present day students, present day institutions, though we say that vision and mission is very, very universal in nature, but all said and done, in reality, it is not as we preached in practice. That's why we have to study and we have to teach the students the importance of Indian knowledge system. Based on the China, based on some European countries, based on some African countries, they studied their respective knowledge system, whatever the knowledge system that they had in the form of a culture, in the form of a tradition, in the form of a philosophy. They studied it, they brought out the uniqueness of the same and used the same in their day-to-day activities inside the classroom and outside the classrooms. As a result, what happened? They got benefited. That's what some of the countries like Africa and China have done substantially extensive research on the Indian indigenous knowledge system. They got benefited. That is what the research says. And it is always a feeling of pride and confidence among the present and the future leaders, and they own a treasure of knowledge that has inherited from our ancient people. We feel proud because we are Indians. Why we are Indians? Why we are feeling proud? Because we represent a particular heritage. We represent a unique culture. We represent a particular philosophy. Our culture, our traditions, and our philosophies are more universal than the confined to a small, narrow concept. That's why we need to know the Indian knowledge system. Similarly, compared to the Western approach of learning process, Indian knowledge system facilitates differently in learning than many other places. And substantial value addition is there in our system if we understand, retain, and really connect with the content of the Indian knowledge system. That is why there is a need to understand what it is and apply the same into the classroom and create some type of wisdom for the youngsters and youth and specifically students, so that they can carry the heavy and rich tradition and culture, and they can use it at an appropriate time in now. If we look at the present education system so far, last 70 years or 80 years which we have been, education failed to create harmony in the society, failed to create specific solutions, the political leadership in the country. That means society is in deep trouble, economic systems are in fragile, political approaches are also not very congenial. As a result, there is no, so whatever the modern education system that we have been practicing, better satisfaction in their life. People are not at all happy in the present day system. Why? Because our education system comprehensive understanding of the purpose of living, purpose of the type of relation that we have to mentions that we have to take to keep ourselves effectively with the nature, not only with the nature, but with the universe. Therefore, Indian knowledge system, through its spirituality, intellectuality, and philosophical approaches, facilitated our ancient Indians to view the entire universe as one unit and take the decisions suitable to the nature and the universe. That is why our Indian knowledge system or Bharatiya Jnana is one of the basic premises on which it established the universal philosophies and ready to offer the solutions to the world. But we missed the link. That's what I say. We failed to connect with our history. As a result, now we are feeling it is our mistake on the part of the policy makers or stakeholders in the present system. Since we fail to link with our Indian knowledge system, we are troubling ourselves. We are facing problems with our own system. That is why the government of India or the policy makers recognized and realized the importance of Indian knowledge system. That's what I say. If having born on this particular planet, we have to lead a quality life. We must have livelihood comfortably. We must have effective, healthy living system, and we must live in a very suitable environmental conditions. For that, what type of situation that we are? Our economic system, social relations, technological advancements. Yes, we are coming out with suitable theories, social relations, or theories supporting the social relations, and technology is entered into not only the life of the people, but everywhere in our life. But the present modern economic system failed to offer right solutions. Same is the case now. The political systems. Now we have been observing what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, what is happening between the Israel and its enemies, and what is going to happen between Europe and America, and etc. etc. If we refer that, the future looks like very bleak. Therefore, it looks that there is a dearth of intellectual feast for the present day generations. And there is nothing like a model is not at all seen in the modern days. Because of all these things, the problems are emerging. Problems are in the form of innovative problems, but we are not able to solve those innovative problems. Therefore, the problem is now human existence itself is at stake. Therefore, the Indian knowledge system may be useful if we utilize it effectively and properly. This is the first point. Second thing is, while understanding the Indian knowledge system, it is natural that we have to see what is Indian knowledge system vis-a-vis with the Western knowledge system. Now, Indian knowledge system facilitated the people to have enough freedom to learn. Whereas Western system, they developed obedience. In management parlance, superior subordinate relationships are there. Whereas in our Indian knowledge system, there is nothing like the obedience. Freedom is the most important center in the learning. Say that caste system, other systems may say, those things have emerged in the recent past and slowly they are disappearing as we are moving into the future. Similarly, Indian knowledge system creates harmonious relationship with the world. That, as I mentioned to you, human being, nature, and the universe. Effective relationship and integration is possible with the Indian knowledge system, whereas the world at large or Western system, it is more of a selfish oriented economic systems and social system they practiced. See, for your kind information, there is a book on how to manage the slaves. How to manage the slaves. Can we think of that type of concept in the Indian knowledge system? No. This is very important that we have to remember. Similarly, Indian knowledge system is more sustainable in reality. Destroy and create a new thing. Replace the existing with something new. How long you can replace? That is not possible because human instincts may reach the saturation point. Beyond that, we don't know. That's what nowadays, while teaching human resource management, many employees are reaching the highest position in their organizations. By 35, 40, the people are becoming CEOs of organizations. After that, what? It is a dead end, actually. In the Western system, once you reach the CEO of a company, that is the end of it. But whereas in the Indian system, it's not like that. We give an answer to go beyond the position, highest position. And you must take the philosophical approach once you retire as a CEO. That's what the Indian system facilitates the people. Similarly, the Indian system facilitates the people to look inside for the growth rather than outside. And lifelong learning is the practice of Indian knowledge system. And whereas the Western approach, they focus more on information just to take the decisions. That's not sufficient. So therefore, unique differences are there, and how to carry out these things is very, very important issue. Now, this is first thing. I said that why Indian knowledge system is important vis-a-vis with the Western approach. Now, as a faculty members, what is our role in developing the content to be discussed in the classroom? No doubt, UGC has framed certain some type of content, and many universities and institutions slowly but steadily incorporating the Indian knowledge systems in various forms as one capsule mode or one subject in the total subjects of 7 or 8 in a particular semester, etc., etc. The most important thing is that while developing the content, my simple observation is no need to study and refer everything in the Bhagavad Gita or everything in Bharatam or everything in Ramayana, etc., etc., Puranas. What is most important thing is, first and foremost thing, we have to do extensive research. What is the Bhagavad Gita or some other Veda, some other Puranas, and how much we can use it to the day-to-day affairs of the present day. That is very important. That much we must take it out from the treasure of Gita, or example I'm saying, or any literature for that matter. No need to teach everything in Bhagavad Gita. This is Bhagavad Gita, 700 slokas. No, that is not going to help, and nobody shows interest if we start teaching slokas and in the form of Bhagavad Gita. No. Therefore, but we must select few points, develop some units from among the 700 slokas and convert that. Don't use even in Sanskrit words per se. Instead, you can bring out the essence of it and put it in the form of the 30 or 40 pages content, where a 30-40 pages content can be one capsule, one unit. Like that, you can develop 200 pages matter that will be useful to the day-to-day affairs of the learning process. For that, most important thing is the teachers have to do some extensive research. Research doesn't mean every time write one paper and publish it. No, observation. your observation will make a lot of difference. And while observing things, you must also read enough literature that is available in the form of Indian knowledge system. So therefore, first and foremost thing is you must identify the right content to be discussed in the class. How? I will tell you. Then, while content development from the Indian knowledge system, certain issues I am raising, examples I am trying to tell at this juncture. For example, while teaching human resource management, we teach employee performance. When you think about employee performance, how to motivate the employees is the most important point. You take one example from Gita, from Ramayana, or from some other Vedas, where that type of example will connect you effectively, and how an ordinary person has performed extraordinarily. Take one example, means from one sloka in the Gita or one sloka from the Ramayana, and interpret the same and motivate the student that so and so person in Ramayana, he performed extraordinarily because of this particular thing. That's what actually, how to increase the performance of the workforce. So, what type of example we can take? For example, while teaching motivation, I take one example like from Ramayana. For example, Maruti, the Anjaneya, is a representative or ambassador of Rama in search of Sita. Okay. Now, the Maruti went to some place, what we call it as Lanka, and he started searching for Sita. He could not find her where she is. He came back to where he landed. At that time, Maruti has taken a decision. I could not find her. With what face I can go and show my face to my Lord Rama? Instead of showing my face and telling him that I could not find her, better to die. The mighty power, Anjaneya represents the mighty power. Such a mighty power got dejected in his approach. He could not find her. The moment he could not find her, he got dejected when he failed his mission. At that time, he thought of committing suicide. I will tell that Soroka afterwards also. While jumping into the sea to commit suicide, at that moment he realized that if I die, who will go and tell him that she is not there here? Suddenly he realized that no, I should not commit suicide because it may be my fault, or if I die, again he will send somebody else. Again, he may not able to find her here. So instead, if I go back and redo everything and tell him that it is not possible to find her in this particular place, therefore she may be there or she might be there in some other place. So therefore, he started motivating himself. No, I should not commit suicide. If I do like this, then who will give the communication or information to my master? So that is what actually we have to select one sloka that has inspired the great person like mighty power Maruti, and that type of example we have to put into the content while discussing about the Indian knowledge system. Similarly, in management, we have two aspects: carrot and stick policy, reward and punishment. Very interestingly, that is how the carrot and stick policy is the Western approach. But Indian knowledge system is also added two more things. That is what actually treating every person equally, and also showing the discrimination between who is performing better, who is not performing better. If so-and-so is not performing better, how to motivate that particular person to improve his or her performance. So therefore we say, not only the reward and punishment, we also treat every employee equally, sama, beda, dana, dandopaya. All types of 4 types of things. That's what sama, beda, dana, dandopaya. So if we take these 4 things instead of 2 things, then your connection with our students will get increased. Therefore, such a type of content you have to identify. Similarly, how to increase the profitability of the organization. When you are teaching the students how to increase the profitability of the organization, we go on taking some steps. But beyond that, our steps may not able to encourage the organization to move forward. Now, many organizations in the recent past, they fired the employees. Lakhs and lakhs of employees lost their jobs in the last 1.5 years. Why that thing happened? Because organization wanted to increase its profitability or retain its profit position at the cost of the employees. No, Indian approach is not like that. Indian approach look at the performance differently, and we recognize the importance of the unimportant person also in the organization. That's one aspect. Similarly, organization profitability for what? That is also an important question. Jack Ma recently said something. If your profits are going to be increased, if the company's profits or performance is going to be increased beyond a particular 100 crores or 1000 crores, then the profits or the revenues are not your own. It is public. It is public money. Then people are appreciated. Oh, Jack Ma said, very good, that it is nice. But long back, Gandhiji said that you are the trustees of the organization, not just owners of the organization. You are not going to get the profits and enjoy. It is the responsibility of the owners who act as the trustees, and they have to protect the organization, distribute the profits properly, not only among the stakeholders, but take care of the society. Therefore, Gandhiji's concept of trusteeship has to put into the contents form while deciding the syllabus for the course. Similarly, competition. How to survive in the competition. This is also another important example I would like to say. Our present concept of winning the competition is destroy the competition. No, destroying the competition, though we have been observing how to destroy the competition, the Indian knowledge system is not just to destroy the competitors, rather encourage the competition. Let us welcome the competitors. Why? See, if more and more competitors are there in the system, more innovations will take place. More innovations will help the consumer to have a better products, quality products at the low cost. Indian knowledge system facilitates that type of thing. Similarly, Indian knowledge system facilitates to deliver the quality service. Quality service, the consumer satisfaction is the most important thing in our approach. We talk about the customer satisfaction. No, our concept of customer satisfaction is 100%. There is no scope for exploiting the environment in any form. So select such a type of content while discussing the same. And similarly, we talk about the teamwork. In management, we talk about teamwork. Take the example from Ramayana, how Rama constructed the Setu with whom? Rama selected animals, specifically monkeys, to construct the Setu. Unique example this is. Not just human beings. He selected animals and he managed the animals successfully in achieving his goal. So therefore, take such a type of thing as an example and incorporate it into the same. So similarly, how to take the organization to the next level? That means the leadership. And Indian approach of leadership is uniquely different from the West. We always talk about the servant leadership. Not only transformational leadership, we talk about the servant leadership. We serve the organization. And we always believe that the leader is the one who need not necessarily be there and motivate the people alone. His ideas will float, will create ripples in the minds of the people, and an ordinary person will become extraordinary in performance. That's what even squirrel in Ramayana performed its role in constructing the Setu. That is what the leadership. Such a type of examples we have to select. Similarly, integration. While talking about the harmony, we talk about integration. See, Raja, Rishi. Rajarshi we talk. You take an example of Raja and Rishi. Two things are different. But both these two entities come together and create a better society. So take Rajarshi as an example and incorporate the same in content creation. So these are some of the examples which I am trying to share. Instead of talking about the lakhs and lakhs of slokas, don't talk about that. Select few contents, few things from the treasure and put them in the order in the form of a syllabus and a particular course and start teaching the same, keeping the present context in mind. This is one thing. So therefore, again, next thing, in the form of selecting the contents, you define how much content you want to discuss with the students. How much is sufficient for the student to take care of himself in understanding the Indian knowledge system. Therefore, you have to identify the syllabus and suitable examples you have to take in the form of a case studies. Nowadays, whatever the Harvard has developed as case studies, it has crossed almost 100 years. Now case is almost becoming irrelevant slowly. So, but this case studies is 100 years old in the modern system. But all our Indian yogi, every rishi has created one story, one case that's incorporated into the syllabus. And the type of pedagogy that we use as a teacher, it is essential for all of us how to integrate the syllabus with the examples and how to teach the same, where we can easily connect with the student. That's very, very important. For this, most important thing is we must develop a suitable culture within the college, within the institution, and within the university. We have to develop some type of culture where Indian knowledge systems can some type of now. I'm sorry to that. I don't know much. I have been reading some news. It is certainly a perturbed environment. So therefore, we have to understand all these things and see that there should be an acceptable culture in the institution where we can create a learning environment for the faculty to incorporate the Indian knowledge system into the latest models. Another important thing is, see, teaching a subject is not sufficient. You teach 5 units, conduct examination by asking some 7 questions and 5 answers will be there. But more than that, physical health, mental health, social health, whatever we teach today in the class, we must remember that how this is going to help my student when he or she is going to work in the organization in future, maybe after 5 years or 10 years. That type of orientation is essential for the faculty members to emphasize. Similarly, when we are teaching Indian knowledge system, you must connect with the local industries, local institutions, local histories, and local way of life. See, the Indian knowledge system doesn't mean only by referring some Gita, Mahabharata, etc., etc. No. When you are in a Darjeeling place, you have a socio-economic and political environment there, and it has some history. Let us try to bring those histories into the classroom, and it is easy for us to connect. For example, we teach some rhymes are there in English, maybe in the first standard or LKG level. London Bridge is falling. I hope most of you know that London Bridge is falling. But in front of us, in Mizoram, so much of landslides are taking place. We don't teach those things. Why it is happening? What is the history background? All these things. And you are eating bread. See, we teach about bread in the class, isn't it? But we are eating traditional breakfast. You are eating local items available, but you are talking about the bread. Bread is not at all a dearer item to us. So therefore, if you teach what type of things you are eating as a breakfast or lunch or dinner, you take from your own culture and incorporate the same in the classroom, people feel very happy. Because we are living with the buffaloes, cows, and other types of animals. But we talk about something else which is not there here. What is there in America, we teach our students in Northeast. But what is there in front of us, we don't teach any animal about it. We don't teach anything about the local animals, local birds, or local geographical content. That is what is important. Indian knowledge system tries to connect with the local environment, local industries, local people, local culture, local dress style. That's what when we go to the Himachal, they keep a cap on our head. Looks very good. But we don't teach that. Why it is? What is the importance and all the things? So therefore, when we are there in a northeastern region, it is essential for all of us to learn the local environmental factors. So identify those things, incorporate the same in the syllabus form and start teaching it. That will help the Indian knowledge system to come live into the classrooms. So therefore I say, bring more and more Indian examples. For example, I would like to tell, when I attended a training program on leadership development long back, maybe some 25, 30 years back, they taught one case study on leadership. That case developed in 1954. That case developed in 1954 in some Europe, somewhere else in a spinning mill. Still, that story as a case developed by Harvard. Now, 1954 to now means almost it is 70 years old. 70 years old story as a case study is discussed in our classrooms. Is it essential to discuss that? Don't you have similar, different leadership case studies in our own location, in our own place, in our own country? Because India is a subcontinent, basically. So many different cultures are there, different languages are there, different behaviors are there. Is it not? Can't we identify a suitable leadership case to discuss in our own environment? That is essential for the teacher who is teaching the subjects. This is very important. And add field work as in the form of interaction with the local communities. How many of us are encouraging our students to go and interact with the local communities? Identify the local resources as a part and parcel of our regular life? No, we don't do it. Whatever is there in West, whatever is written by Philip Kotler or Peter Drucker, is it not? Same thing we teach as an example here also. Same examples has to be written in the examination. Then only we give marks. Is it essential? Please think of it. So therefore, please try to identify as many Indian examples or local examples as possible as case studies. Include few units based on Indian knowledge system into the current courses. Introduce Indian knowledge based courses as a initially electives, slowly but steadily a core subjects, so that our own students will start learning about our own culture and our own traditions and philosophy. Sometimes launch a big course, big program on Indian knowledge system. Similarly, now, no doubt, we can identify, we can use such things into our classrooms. No doubt, it is fine. But the most important challenge is here in implementing in the classroom. For example, a sloka can be interpreted by 100 people in 100 forms. This is to some extent an unfortunate thing, and to some extent it is an innovative thing in our Indian system. There is no standard or criteria on which we have to interpret the same thing. Therefore, it is a challenge. One person in Northeast may interpret the same sloka differently. I may interpret the same differently in my location, plain land. And somebody else in some other rural area, he may interpret the same thing in a different way. So therefore, how to bring the Indian knowledge system based on certain criteria or standardization. See, standardizing is positively, to some extent, it is a good thing. At the same time, that may become, slowly but steadily, become what I call it as monotony system. So therefore, innovation may not be there after some time. Therefore, it is a challenging task for the faculty members how to interpret a particular sloka or particular text in a particular environment. Similarly, we don't have standard textbooks on Indian knowledge system. Yes, on Indian knowledge system, so much literature is there. But what is more important is we must bring out the textbooks, textbooks that contains the, for example, leadership. On leadership, what type of things? On human resource development, what type of things? And what type of the textbooks that should represent the marketing system or financial system. So therefore, we need to have a structured textbooks on the Indian knowledge system. Then only we can use the same effectively in the classrooms. And other thing is, as I said, variations. Lot of variations are there from the Northeast to Tamil Nadu in terms of culture, traditions, etc., etc. And same point is interpreted, used differently in different places. So that is why for faculty members, it may be some type of challenge for all of us, and how to interpret the content, how to develop the structuring of the textbooks, and how to bring some limit the variations in our interpretations is an important challenge. Now, the most important issue is that teacher and research and Indian knowledge system. As I mentioned to you earlier, we have to do extensive research and bring out the relevant content suitable to the present day environment. This is an important work. Therefore, you have to do research to build the content. That's very, very important. Now, you may say a number of things. Now, sir, what type of resources are there? There is no encouragement from the management or the universities, etc., etc. They will be there, all said and done. These are all challenges every day we face, whether it is the Indian knowledge system or some other system. Research is a research, but you must develop some type of passion to identify what are the unique things that are there in our Indian knowledge system, how to bring those and use it to connect our students so that our student will learn more and more about the Indian knowledge system. Similarly, textbooks as possible with the traditional content, and that will help the future of Indian knowledge system. So that's one thing. Similarly, while developing the content, let us keep national education policy guidelines in developing the content, because UGC has developed some type of framework. Keeping that framework in mind, let us try to develop the content as much as possible so that our present generation and future generations will be more vibrant and they can perform better in comparison with other countries. That is what is important. Similarly, incorporate some aspects from culture, from our own culture and from our own traditions into the classroom. Let us encourage instead of discouraging the people, because there are certain stray incidences where the students comes with a traditional dress is not encouraged by the institution or the faculty. No. Unfortunately, now the traditional attire and traditional wear has become once in a week activity. And all this time, during the convocation, a particular gowns are being distributed to the students to wear it. Why we have to wear the Western-oriented gowns? Can't we have a culturally suitable to the system? Basic question. We are not against to the West, or we are not against to the modern practices. And at the same time, we are not encouraging the people go back to our traditional olden days and nomadic type of environment. No. Use the some content which is very, very relevant and useful to present and future generations. Let us do that. That is what is important. Similarly, build the local network to help the students to learn. Learning process not necessarily based on a particular pattern. Number of experiments you can conduct and learn from them. That's why nowadays we are talking about experiential learning, experimental learning we are talking. What happened all this time? Because we have been after the theory for so long. Now suddenly we realized our degrees and our percentage of marks are not going to help us to take right decisions. So right decisions need practical experience. So if along with the practical experience, then how practical experience will come? Based on when the hard work is involved, you have to put your hands into the day-to-day work. Therefore, UGC is coming out with a new system of mentoring, internship, all these things. Why they are coming out? Because we could not follow it. Now there is a need to bring it back so that our product will be more acceptable to the future. That is why we as teachers must do extensive research, and our research must help us to bring out the new material, innovative material, and that will be helpful to the present and future day students. Now, I would like to tell one small incidence how to teach a particular point in a particular class, particular Indian knowledge element in the class. There is a subject I always teach. What are the qualities of a manager? universally acceptable qualities of a manager or universally acceptable qualities of a leader. Example, when we are going to teach, we say that so-and-so Peter Drucker gave some points 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 as a leadership qualities, etc. are good managers actually. Okay, I am using manager and leader interchangeably. Now, when I teach the qualities of a great managers, one example I take in my class. That example is very, very commonly known to all of you. That is, there is a story of Bali and Vamana. Vamana the dwarf. Vamana the dwarf, you may be knowing, I don't know whether I brought that picture for you. You know very well all these things. No, I think it is not there. So I didn't put it. It is in the other slide. Yeah. This is what actually. Qualities of a universally accepted managers. Now the story is like this. Example. Story is between Vamana and the Mahabali. Bali the king. When the Bali has become formidable, then people requested the Almighty, please try to help by snubbing this particular person. Then the Almighty appeared in the form of a Vamana, the dwarf, in the courtyard of Bali. The dwarf man is about 3 feet height, small, maraguzzu, what we always say. He came and appeared before the Bali. Bali asked he started interviewing the person, like a interview board interviewing the candidates. My dear Vamana, what is your name? Please tell about your profile. Asked. Then the meaning is like this. He asked actually, who are you? From where you have come? What do you know? And where do you go? From where you have come? How much wealth and knowledge you have? Please tell. Bali asked. Then Vamana the dwarf started saying, my dear king, what to say about myself, my place? I fully fill each and every place in this universe. How to say to whom I belong? I move on my own in steps short and long. What to say how I move? Isn't it? Similarly, I can walk in all 3 ways easily. I move. Why to say this I learned, that I learned? All learnings surely I learned. I do not look who is for me. For all others surely is me. Alone without bindings free is me. I have seen wealth earlier in times. I am amongst the good people from time to time. Then the sloka says, no, that's what the meaning of sloka I am telling. How can I say that I belong to this and that? So like this he started explaining. From this particular sloka, what to learn as a management student or as a teacher, how to interpret the same. What to say about my place? Right place is this here. Whatever the place I am here, this is the right place for me to live. How can I say that I am there? That place is a good place. This place is a bad place. No. Right place is the place where I am there. Similarly, what initiation you do, right initiative is my own initiative. What is the right approach? Right approach is 3-way integrated approach is the right approach. What is the right learning? My dear, right learning is a continuous learning, which I learn. Right serving. Serving others deserves the grace is the most important serving. Right bondage. Right bondage is a bondage without binding. That is the quality of a manager. Right wealth. What is the right wealth? Earn money without being money-minded. Generate the wealth. Share with the wealth with others. That's what Gandhiji also taken the clue from this particular point, and he mentioned that trusteeship in managing the affairs of the company. Similarly, right company. Be a good company. Be with good company. There are 8 important qualities for a manager. Right place should be there. Right initiative should be there. Right approach should be there. Right learning should be there. Right serving should be there. Right bondage should be there. Right wealth should be there. And right company should be there. These are the 8 important qualities. These qualities can be easily drawn from the conversation between Vamana and Bali. Now you can understand the story, remaining story very well, what happened afterwards. Am I right? So therefore, take such examples and connect with the students by explaining this. Put such examples as a content of the Indian knowledge system in your courses and use it effectively. As a result, you will be recognized as a great teacher, and you will also have a satisfaction for you that I am teaching my people effectively. Similarly, so what are the qualities of a good living being? Means what type of personality one should have. That's what the meaning is. Goodness, what type of character? Sattva guna. Goodness is the most important quality of a good personality. Similarly, passion. A passion is the most important quality of a great personality. Rajas as a guna. And tamas, ignorance, is also a bliss. Therefore, what does the personality means is every personality should have, maybe having these qualities. From here, we move from one level to the next level. So therefore, by birth, we are all ignorance. By death, we create an impact on the society. By creating an impact on the society, we may leave the world. That's what actually the best quality of a personality is, the impact that you create on the existing society. That's what we talk about impact research, impact teaching, impact performance. Therefore, goodness, passion, and ignorance may appears to be as an important aspects. And this is another example, as I mentioned to you, Maruti as a representative of Rama in search of Sita. That's what. Anirvedo is satatam sarva desu pravaktaha karoti saplam jantoho karma maccha karotiha. No need to talk about this. That's why I quickly run through the sloka. Meaning is this. Enthusiasm is indeed the prompter and motivator in all human matters, because it makes the work successful which man has taken up. And the problem solving approach. As a management teacher, you are going to teach problem solving approach, various methods. You take one example, Patanjali Yoga, how it has helped to solve the problem that is there before you. In that, yoga is one important element. Yoga helps an individual to attain the stage of samastava, that is a balanced condition of body and mind, and develop an integrated personality to cope with the stress situations. We are all talking about the stress management, etc. Am I right? Now, yoga has become a solace and solution to the problems that we are encountering. Therefore, it is essential for all of us to think about what is an ideal society. People started interpreting the things. We are all talking about ideal society should be like this, like this. In Gita, Sri Krishna said, he gave the conceptual framework for a theory of a good society. What is good society? One character is enlightened collective interest. Enlightened collective interest of the people is the most important quality of a good society. Similarly, mutuality and interdependence is the most important thing. Now, what is happening in Manipur and some other places between and among the communities and going on? Of course, I don't want it to go beyond that. No. One day or the other, we all have to come together. We have to live together. That's what we call it as mutual interest, and interdependence is an essential quality of a good society. Similarly, positive action through niskama karma. Positive action. Perform your job without expecting anything. You do your duty. I will take care of the remaining. That is the meaning here. So therefore, it is essential to serve the people without expecting anything. Similarly, the leader, enlightened leadership. That's most important thing. Leaders in the society, work in the society, relationship in the society, and common goal. All these four important elements represent the good society. Long back, Sri Krishna said this. Take this as an example while interpreting what is a good society. Therefore, Gita suggested not only the theory of society, but also theory of history. This approach of history has a great appeal because its emphasis is on human values and optimistic future. Therefore, it is essential for all of us to understand this. And also, another important aspect is that analytical models of Gita, it says that the guna model, characters, dharma, adharma, what is right and what is wrong, and divine and demonic model, good person and bad person. So therefore, the Gita takes some such examples and try to interpret as you like in the same thing. I can continue to be there like this, team-based organizational functioning. When you are talking about team-based organizational functioning, you can think about an example is called Trinity of Gods, creator, maintainer, and destroyer. A manager who has to create a job opportunity to the people, we has to help the employee to perform better. Even if he is not able to perform better, instead of destroying means destroy the negative character in the employee and encourage the person to use it. So we can interpret the same in our own way so that we can connect with the students in the classroom. And the integration, as I mentioned to you, world inside and world outside. Kurukshetra inside. We struggle a lot in our own self. That is what we always say. Indian system is, we sit here, look into ourselves to understand the universe. Am I right? One gentleman found that one telescope some 400 years back or 500 years back. Am I right? But much before that, Indian sages said that there are 9 systems in the universe. Am I right? Navagrahas are there. Who identified them? Navagrahas. 9 grahas are there in the universe. When thousands and thousands of years back, much before the invention of a telescope. That is because we look inside to understand outside. That's what actually we understand what is there in the universe by looking into the self. That is very, very important. Therefore, I would like to stop here as the time is running out, and I can go on discuss these things much more than what it is. And I try to request the faculty members, please try to introduce certain courses in the UG level, introduce some more content in the PG level, and give some credits to each course that you are introducing in the various levels. Maybe 10% of the Indian knowledge system content can be introduced in the UG level and give some 8 credits or 10 credits. Go to the post-graduation, incorporate 20% of the content with the Indian knowledge system and give some 20 credits to the students, or if necessary, like IIM Bangalore introduced Indian knowledge system as a separate course, and many universities are also adapting the same. And this is the literature, actually. Sorry, there is a typing mistake. There is a need for all the teachers to know there are some books available on Indian knowledge system. Number of books are there available with the Indian knowledge systems. Number of articles have been published in various journals. So much of literature is available and uniquely described Indian knowledge system. Some books are Modern Management Through Ancient Indian Wisdom by A. Bhattacharya, Ancient kind of wisdom for managers, Ancient Indian Wisdom for Managers by Muniyappan B. Satpathy, Indian Business History by Gurcharan Das, Indian Consumers by Rama Bijapurkar, Demographics, the Consumer Classes, the S.L. Rao, New Age Management Philosophy from Ancient Indian Wisdom by V. Srinivasan, Business Ethics by A.N. by An Indian Perspective by A.C. Fernando. Some of these books are very much available in the market, and many more books are available in the market. Please try to read as much as possible you can, and try to move from a basic teacher position as an information provider, provide some experience to our people. Not only to know something, be there as a being. That's having learned rather than having experienced is important. And in the existing system of providing information one way, create a two-way process of learning and teaching. Instead of adding some information to that, please try to transform them existing student. Similarly, instead of having the mind connect, please have your heart get connected with our students. By doing that, it is possible for you to move from the present position as a basic teacher to become an extraordinary teacher, what we call it as Guru. On the day of retirement, you must feel proud that you have been in this particular profession, because you could be able to change the society by virtue of your contribution in the form of an impact that you have created. If you want to create an impact, you must become gurus, not just as a teachers or a professors, by enjoying the positions in different universities. But ultimately, you must have a satisfaction for yourself that I have added something to my society through my students, and I am happy to get retired from this day onwards. Therefore, I sincerely thank for all of you for giving an opportunity to speak to you. Please, if there are any questions, let me check that. Please post your questions. Yes, good afternoon, good afternoon. Yes, yes. So, please, now the forum is open for discussion. I don't know how much I tried to add to the value addition to you. I don't know whether your 1 hour 30 minutes is useful by listening to me. If at all there is some takeaways, please take those things positively. If at all it is not that much useful, please ignore me for my ignorance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for a very interesting presentation. We have received 3 questions, sir. Actually, participants are not having access to audio.
Yeah.
Just to avoid that accidental on-off mics, we have disabled that. So they are posting their questions in question box. So,
okay.
So should I ask this question or you will read?
Please.
Okay.
So is there any way to bring out tangible success out of IKS? Tangible success. Okay, one thing. Tangible success, see, there are no ready-made answers right now available. There are lot of research is going on to have a tangible impact. For example, one of my PhD student is a faculty in Haridwar. She has done a research on leadership and impact of chakras on the performance of the leaders. With her experiment, she proved that there is an impact, but how much impact means bring out in monetary terms, it may be difficult to say, but all research not necessarily with the quantification. Please listen. Indian system of research is more of a qualitative in nature. And unfortunately, we are all obsessed with the quantification. And because if you want to use from SPSS to various advanced statistical tools to measure the performance, no doubt we use it. But ground reality is that the quantification may not really bring out the ground realities. Let us understand this particular limitation. Therefore, still work is going on at different levels. In the days to come, we will have more the quantification fashion of the success of the IKAS. One thing. Second thing is, what are the challenges in the integration of Indian knowledge system, especially the employability factor? Yes, very, very important. And it is very much possible. I gave 3 examples. The Vamana versus Bali is an interesting example how to integrate the mythology into the modern day classroom. Hope you have understood that particular point. This is the way we have to integrate. See, a story, practical example. So, like that, in the Maruti represents the Rama is another example. Live means a case that can be incorporated into the motivation of a student. So that is another important example. These are the examples we have to pick. We have to do some research, try to integrate those things into our classroom. Of course, to do this, interesting challenges will be there. But it is the responsibility of the faculty member to overcome those challenges by having a better understanding of the issue with the help of a research. That is what I feel so. How can contribute IKP to sustain future? See, Indian knowledge system is the only sustainable practice. Now we are talking about the sustainable goals. Some 9 years back or so, sustainable goals announced by UN. What is then all these sustainable goals? Because Indian knowledge system is the universally accepted solution to the sustainability. Now, human being, nature, and the universe. Indian knowledge system is saying that use the available resources to have a satisfaction, to lead a satisfied life. Indian knowledge system is trying to tell the people have few desires, few needs. Try to satisfy your needs rather than wants, rather than desires. West is saying about the desires and wants. Indian system says have few desires, few needs, few wants. What it means? That's what simple living. Indian knowledge system is telling everybody have a simple life. That will be the satisfied life. So that's what actually the question itself is having an answer. Indian way of life is a sustainable feature. We use the resources. Available water we use. We don't exploit the water. Our Indian knowledge system, first thing. Second thing is, we use the firewood from the forest. We never destroyed the forest. We lived in the forest. Now forest is living in our houses. This is the reverse system. Now again we are going back in the name of environmental challenges. Now we want to create more forests. Who is responsible for this? Indian knowledge system from the beginning explained. Don't destroy the nature. Have harmonious relationship with the nature. Then only future will be there for the human beings on this earth. So therefore, Indian knowledge system is the best system that is available, accessible, provided if you practice it. Now, Santiniketan is a university. How many buildings constructed with how many crores? This is an example for all of us to understand. The moment you think about a university, 35 acres minimum land or 300 acres minimum land, so many number of crores of money required to construct the building. What about the human being who is teaching there? We don't have enough teachers to teach. Right? Am I right? This is off the record I am telling. We don't have a right person to teach, but we have enough buildings. So the problem is, therefore, my appeal to Mr. Amit Kumar sir, see, Indian knowledge system is the best will be there for the future. Otherwise, our future generation may not be there on this earth. Human beings will get extinct from this particular planet. That's what I say. Hope you all have the same knowledge, not that I know it, but this is the practice. Indian lifestyle is the best lifestyle. It is proved beyond that. Indian foods, best foods in the world. But it is up to us to take a lead, move forward, create a better example for the world. Okay. Similarly, is there one more question? Is there any software or computer equivalent in Indian knowledge system? Sir, software, computer equivalence. Now, I don't want to respond to that. See, after all, what it is, we are creating the computers, we are creating the software, isn't it? And we are allowing it to play us, play with us, play on us, sit on our head. But it is not possible, and we should not think also, Indian knowledge system is the best and universal knowledge system that is available. Let us use it, and we can also use the technology. Technology is only tool to help us to have a better life, isn't it? Softwares may be there, softwares are getting developed, etc., etc. Finally, our thinking will play a major role, isn't it? Some more question is coming. Is there any software? Okay, that is okay. Then
no questions, sir. These are all questions.
So thank you very much. I don't know.
You.
I vaguely I shared some vague thoughts on this particular subject. All said and done. Let our teachers survive with better knowledge instead of looking forward for promotions and all the things. Leave all the things, but we all have to survive, and we have to help our next generation to survive with wisdom, spirituality, and intellectual component as a passion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, dear participants, let's call it a day. This was our 20th session for this program. Tomorrow again, join at 10 and we'll start with Professor B. Kamaiya. He is from Department of Economics, University of Hyderabad. He's a very senior professor and he's going to talk about sampling. Then second session, there is a small change. Second session was earlier from Professor Larding Liana, but now it is going to be taken by Professor Gautam Patikarji from Nagaland University, and he will be talking on research gap identification and problem formulation. Then after break, at 1:30 we'll have a session from Professor Mihir Kumar Shom from Management Department from NIT Arunachal Pradesh, and he will be talking on how to stay motivated in a tough environment. And then tomorrow's last session will be taken by Professor O.P. Rai, a very senior professor, former Pro Vice Chancellor of University of South Bihar. And he will be talking about management of interpersonal relationships in academic institutions, a review. So see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. so that we can start on time. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you,
Thank you very
sir.
much, sir. Thank you, Benish, for giving me the opportunity.